Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome back to United Views. Smash a like on the channel, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Welcome to another morning view where we have got lots to discuss. It's all going off. It hasn't taken long, has it? It has not taken long for this to be a real life story, an active story, a legitimate rumor. We all sort of did it as soon as we signed, as soon as we got Ruben Amorim as head coach. All of the questions soon followed about Victor Gyökeres, if I'm even saying that right. Now we've got to start doing all the pronunciations and that, but you guys know who we mean. There is Gyökeres transfer talks actively going on. Manchester United have entered the chat. We're going to talk about what that looks like. We're going to talk about who said it, what it means, exactly what has been said and what that deal could look like if it was to happen. Who else is in there as well? Shout out everyone in the chat. Aria says, big up everyone. Aslan says, Wagwan, Wolfgang, Daya, big up. And UV crew as well. Happy belated birthday, Flex, says the kill. Thank you. Had a great day yesterday. Gyökeres says, welcome. Show says, welcome. Gyökeres, welcome to United. And good morning from Quabram South. How do you say? Oh, Welsh. Oh, when you Welsh are some tongue twisters in it. Is that Quambran from Ponte de Owen, would you say?
I sometimes
Quambran.
Yeah,
Quambran.
Because sometimes
Welsh,
sometimes the letters are there, but you don't say them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of silence. But anyway, shout out to anybody watching from South Wales, especially Ponte Day. And before we do get into the show properly, I know a lot of you guys would have seen the news yesterday that Stretford Paddock and many other content creators did post. If you didn't, we are really sad and shocked to hear of the passing of Abdullah, who was really, really prominent on Stretford Paddock. I know he was doing a lot of stuff with JD Sports. He was out in the World Cup in Qatar. Anytime I came across him, really, really nice kid, really nice guy, really passionate about United. Anytime I saw any of his content, he was always bubbling, always smiling, always happy, and just seemed to be such a genuine soul. So yeah, didn't get to do loads in terms of content with him, but always saw the great work he was doing. And from here, everyone here at United View, our community, the footballing content community, and everybody who knows Abdullah, our thoughts are with him and his family. I gave Jay Motti a call yesterday to sort of pass on our thinking and our thoughts from everybody here at the channel. And he was on his way to his funeral, he said. So yeah, don't know anything else than that. But it was a really difficult time for those lads. I know they worked really, really closely with Abdullah. And just thinking of his friends and family as well, which was really real big shocks, really, really young. So yeah, thoughts and prayers with Abdullah, who sadly passed away at Stretford Paddock, and loads of other people let us know yesterday. So yes, thinking of him. But yes, a big show today. And it does start with Victor Gyökeres, Owen, because my good friend, you know, Florian.
Yeah.
You know, my good friend Florentine, you know, has gone quite big with this.
Yeah, he has gone quite big with this. Now, like we said, we've been linked with him ever since, you know, Ruben Amorim was linked to us because it feels like a natural fit, particularly with what we need, what we're looking for, etc., etc. But when it comes to Victor Gyökeres, interestingly, Florian Plettenberg said last night, quite a big story to drop, and quite with the language that he was using, quite big language, certainly, he's saying. He's saying Manchester United have now made initial concrete talks regarding Victor Gyökeres about a potential... Flex, are you switching, like, things? What's going on? I'm hearing,
don't worry.
I'm hearing staticness. Yeah, I'm hearing staticness in the background. He says, Fletnology might have returned, folks. Yeah, Fletnology might have returned. He said Manchester United have now made official concrete talks regarding Victor Gyökeres and a potential move in the summer. The Red Devils are now fully involved. However, this will require sales first. Now, there is going to be competition for Victor Gyökeres because Manchester City, according to Florian Plettenberg, have also intensified their efforts in recent days. Hugo Viana is currently pushing hard in the pursuit of Gyökeres too. So there could be a battle between both Manchester United, Manchester clubs rather, for Gyökeres in the summer. Flex, thoughts?
You sound great now. You sound really crisp. HD. I was thinking, nah, this isn't the one. Let's get the inputs and the outputs right. We've got enough. We've got enough power to do it. So it's not gonna be that.
The best thing is when you do it, you hear this noise. It goes.
Oh, does it? Is that what
well,
it does?
That's what I hear. That's what I hear. I hear. Psh, psh, psh.
What, from the clicking of the mouse or the changing of the sound?
Changing of the sound.
Oh,
Every time the sound. I heard. Psh.
Oh, apologies. It was on the wrong. It wasn't quite inputting. I needed it on that crisp.
I wonder if Flex thinks he's being really slick here. He's been, nobody notices, and yeah, it was good. It was good.
There you go. And I came back and nobody knew apart from me, so it's fine.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes. This is interesting, to hear that they're in for him as well. Which I know, obviously, Hugo Viana's link and him going to City and blah blah.
But is that just because two people that used to work with him are at two Manchester clubs? Therefore, both Manchester clubs have been linked with him.
100%. But it 100% is that. And also, the thing is that it's a bit convoluted because Victor Gyökeres has been chased by many, many in Europe. Arsenal have been really interested as well. And he would get into a hell of a lot of teams because he's a very good striker. So I think he'll be chased a lot. I think he'll be wanted a lot. And for us, it's an obvious one, not just because the media just making it up. No, us as fans, we're going, we need a top level striker now. We need that. Like that's it's a given. And then of course, when you add Ruben Amorim into that and what he got out of him, we don't even need to break down why Victor Gyökeres would be a success at Man United, or at least a good target for us to get. It's interesting at City, and it's interesting for Gyökeres because, does he want to play second fiddle at this stage of his career? This is going to be his big, no disrespect to Sporting, because from Coventry to Sporting was his big move. That was a massive move for him. But this is another level up. If he was to come to the Premier League, does he want to go to Manchester City in what would be their rebuild and be the Julian Alvarez vibe?
Yeah, because he's not going to be Haaland.
He's not going to be Haaland unless Pep has a new plan.
I was going to say that might be the thing. I suppose you can't rule out with Pep is that if something's not working, he is not afraid to be like, he doesn't really have a set way of formation or anything playing like that. I mean, he played for years without a striker, didn't he, with a false nine? So can't rule that out. It feels like that's going to be the transfer story over the summer, not necessarily just for United. I think that when these kind of players, particularly strikers, when they come up, you get this thing of like everyone's in
all the time.
Everyone's in, but what you do also then find out is by the beginning of the summer, you kind of know where they're most likely going to land. You know what I mean? So a bit like with the Haaland one, when he was at Dortmund for like years, it's like this club wants him. This club wants him. He's going to go to Real Madrid. He's going to go to Barcelona. He's going to go to United. He's going to go here. And then as we got closer to the window, it was like, no, he's going to City. He's going to go.
Mbappe, always the same thing.
It's like,
the Kane thing.
Exactly.
Osman where's he going to go? Just that. Then he ended up staying at Napoli. Then it didn't quite get.
Well, even like, it's not necessarily the same with a striker, but it was like, same with kind of with Jude Bellingham, wasn't it? It was like when they're going in the summer that's coming up, they're like, right, he's going next summer, and then you get the links. By the time you get to, like I said, maybe even a month before the summer comes, you go, he's going here. We know he's going here. Bellingham, we know he's going to Real Madrid. Haaland, we know he's going to Manchester City. Those kind of things because they do get done really early, don't they? And I suppose that's maybe why these links are coming out now, because all of these different clubs are trying to secure it now. They're trying to do it now.
Which is the right thing to do. You can't get to the summer and start getting in a bidding war and not know what you're doing. And any competent footballing structure, which we have now.
Hopefully got,
we've hopefully got that now. Omar Barada, there you go. Let's go toe to toe with City. This is what we bought you for, mate. Obviously they're going in a different direction. They're going to be getting Hugo Viana. But this is the sort of thing that I know it's not only Omar Barada, but because he's ex-City and just come from there, these are the type of scouts we want him to get. These are the types of transfers where we're like, okay, bit of a volatile market. It's competitive. Arsenal going to be sniffing around as well. Who knows? Who knows what Liverpool do? They might.
Now would be the chance to convince them not to go City as well. You don't want to go them. Look at them. Look at 115 charges. They're struggling. We just got a new.
You're never going to play as well, mate. You're never going to play.
Exactly. You won't want to go there. But you're right. It's not going to even just be
not going to be easy.
The Manchester clubs, because it feels like Arsenal for the last couple of seasons have been looking for a striker, haven't they? And would he be the missing piece of the puzzle at Arsenal? Maybe. You never know, because that's what they're looking for. And then you still do have the the Spanish clubs who always want a marquee name every single summer, don't they, as well? So you just can't rule out. And then to your point, considering what could happen with Liverpool, there could be a situation where Mo Salah does go in the summer,
exactly.
and then suddenly they're like, we need a marquee name. I mean, I don't know if you necessarily replace Salah with Gyökeres, but that's what they might
Jota's
do.
always injured, and Nunes misses loads of chances. They might end up saying, you never know. We just won the league. Hopefully not, but we just won the league, and we want that focal point number 9 as well, who's reliable. We want to do that. Like I said, Mo Salah might go, so they might get another winger to replace him, and then you get a Gyökeres, and he could go anywhere. He can. Anywhere. He's that good. I know Chelsea are doing well with Nicholas Jackson, so probably not. But knowing them, they're in for everyone. So yes, Bice says in hindsight, what was Ten Hag's biggest mistake? Oh, just to move the chat on a little bit. We will get back to Gyökeres, but in hindsight, what was Ten Hag's biggest mistake? I'm gonna say abandoning his principles and never going back.
I was just about to say, I think a big turning point for a lot of people is when he publicly came out and said, I'm not going to play the Ajax way, or I can't play the Ajax way. And I know that at the time there were people sort of backing him for saying that, because saying, oh no, he meant this, and he was saying this because he doesn't have the players. But a lot of people, I think, were really turned off by that and sort of said, but essentially, then why are you here? Because if Ruben Amorim came out and sort of said, I'm not going to do 3-4-3 because I can't do it, then once again, people would be like, well, then what are you doing here? I think that was a big one. That was a real big one.
There was no real coming back from that. And then there's things like, didn't play Ahmad, spent too long with Anthony.
Yeah.
Too stubborn in the formations when we were getting run through, didn't go more defensive when we had injury. There's loads of things. Farhan says, do you think Shaw will play left wing back and Maguire left centre back tomorrow? No,
I don't think so.
I don't. No. I think that's a big ask on Luke Shaw, just coming back from injury. If anything, he needs to stay at left centre back where he's comfortable, doesn't have to do bags and bags of running. He can't just turn into Dalot. I know Dalot hasn't been playing well, but the demand on the left wing back in this system is a lot. And I think that's definitely beyond Luke Shaw now. I think that'd be a silly move to put Luke Shaw left wing back. And then you got Harry Maguire up against Salah, essentially, every time. And Harry Maguire up against Saka. Every time.
Well, we were sort of saying last night on the red carpet, we're sort of saying about the back three tomorrow, because of course Leach is missing, but also there's the other part of it to say that because Arsenal with their set pieces, do you want to have a bit of height in there? Maybe I think that's the prevailing theory for why Maguire would be involved.
Yeah, it's I think if he does play, I think him and De Ligt in there at the mobility, there's
a lack of pace there.
I don't like the look of De Ligt playing right centre back. Mazraoui's doing fine. Right centre back and right wing back must be Ahmad and Mazraoui. I know, like for height and stuff, like set pieces, but most of the game's going to be played with the ball on the floor. So we need to fight. Arsenal got the cheat code for it anyway. So we just have to find a way to deal with it. I'm not sure we should just be playing players just for their set pieces, because I think we lose too much with how we play. It's a bit different against Everton.
But the problem is with that, when you say can't do it just for set pieces, that's where Arsenal score a lot of their goals.
They do, but they score more goals from open play than they do.
But then that's the I suppose that's a testament to how well they are doing at set pieces. Is it's a genuine conversation, and you can focus on it so much that you do not focus on other parts of the play. Yeah. But it's a legitimate conversation you have to have. That you have to work out teams.
100%. It's a cheat code what they've got. And let's be honest, they've been pretty much unstoppable. Doesn't matter even if they don't score from it. Gabriel gets his head on it every single time, or someone does. So it's a big thing that nobody's managed to find a solution to as of yet. I'm not saying they score a set piece every game, but they always are dangerous. But I think it's with the players that we're trying to bring in, because of the height, with what we sacrifice on the floor with the system, and the complementary of players. I mean, I could be getting this totally wrong. Maybe we do see a back three of Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire in the centre, and bloody what's his name? Harry Maguire in the centre, and then De Ligt right centre back, and then Mazraoui right wing back, and then Ahmad in the right 10. Maybe, I don't know. Just to get a bit high. I don't know. You just don't know.
He's difficult to predict, certainly. And you know what is funny though about the set piece stuff with Arsenal is, it's funny the perception of stuff like that, because when it's a Tony Pulis, or when it is a Sean Dyche scoring, or Sam Allardyce scoring goals from set pieces, that's anti-football, that Fleck. that's anti-football.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And now it's Arteta, it's genius, and it is like just I don't know. I think
it's a way of scoring a goal. If you master it, great.
Yeah, I think it's been a long time coming. Actually, I mean, I know that people don't like it. The Premier League or this version of football to become Americanized and what have you. But set piece coaches, special teams. I'm surprised more emphasis isn't put on it. Now over the last few years, we've seen the introduction of the set piece coach that comes out on the touchline and they work on it and all that kind of stuff. If you think about it, if you can master it, that's an extra 15 goals a season, which is the difference between winning a league, getting in the top 4, staying up, or finishing a couple of positions higher, or winning a cup competition. So I'm surprised that it's almost taken this long to be like, actually, if we just get our patterns perfect of these things, then no one could touch us.
Yeah, it's that simple. It's like if any way or any chance that you have to score a goal, you need to increase your likeliness of doing it, because that's the aim of the game, to score loads of goals and win.
Yeah.
So I don't get anyone who's cussing, even when it was Big Sam, like say Tony Pulis, all them man back in the day, they were just using obviously their best weapons because they probably weren't great football inside.
Yeah, so they didn't play football. They didn't play football like Arsenal. I mean,
and they went long and But at the end of the day, if you're Arsenal, mate, you get the best of get the best of both worlds. When you play football, you play great football, you create loads of chances. Yeah. It's very difficult to stop. When it's set pieces, no one can keep up with you, and you've got it down to a T. How could anybody cuss that?
Exactly.
You can't. So you're right there. Joe Fleming says, happy birthday for yesterday. Flex kept missing you on the lives. Big up to you, Joe Fleming, as always. And V33 says, why Gyökeres to City? Warm the bench for Haaland. Risk playing in the non-leagues after 115 is finalized. Familiarity breeds success. Ruben, get him in.
Emma burner right there.
Yeah, exactly. And Ruben, look, I don't want to say we've got a massive pull, given that Ruben Amorim is here. I know City and this, that, and the other, but it should be an easy sell for us to get Victor Gyökeres to entice him to come. Going to start pretty much all the games. You're going to be the main striker. You're working with the guy you've only just stopped working with. You're working with a guy that you respect is taking you to the next level. We get a guy who completely knows the system, completely knows the demands, looks ready-made for the Premier League in terms of physicality, by the way. He wants to flip him, bang the ball as hard as he can every shot, pretty much. And he's very physical and very direct, makes a lot of good runs, good hold-up play, good touch, and knows where the back of the net is. He's a perfect type of striker for us to get.
And this would also be stressed, because talking about Gyökeres here, that does not mean the end for Rasmus Højlund at Manchester United, or maybe to even extent Joshua Zirkzee, right? This has been our whole point, is that actually getting a Gyökeres in, that eases the pressure, eases the burden on a Rasmus Højlund, who is still 21, and then that conversation of, right, he can come in, he can come out. He's not like, the pressure isn't on, right, Rasmus Højlund, if you don't score like 15, 20 goals for us this season, we're screwed. That's your job. It's like, well, actually, we've got the more senior striker here. We've got the more ready-made guy to go. The pressure's on him. He should be more equipped to handle the pressure. He's older. He's done it, well in Europe. It'd be a step up for him, obviously, like you said. But you just need options. You need options, and particularly as we've said, with how much Ruben Amorim likes to rotate. It'll be interesting to see once he's maybe 6 months in to his tenure at United how much he rotates, because you do get the impression at the moment it's a combination of games, fitness, and also figuring out who he likes and who he doesn't like. But we're going to need those attacking options. We need goals, and it's a credit to Ruben Amorim. He's managed to get 7 in his last 2 games.
It's really interesting, isn't it? Like we couldn't score for love nor money before, and you're trying not to just look at the opposition and the level of opposition, but also you have to remember where we are and where we were. And it's true, like even since Eric's left, we got 5 against Leicester straight away, didn't we? We got 1 against Chelsea, then we got 3 against Leicester again, and then we got
2 against Pauk as well.
2 against Pauk. So ever since that West Ham game, these men have been scoring loads. And then, like you said, since Ruben's come in, 1-1 against Ipswich, but it was a close game against Bodo Glimt, but we scored 3. Then you go and score 4.
And we should have scored more against Bodo Glimt. So
should have scored more, should have killed the game. So the chance creation is there. But then again,
the chance creation was there under Eric, in fairness.
I was just about to say that. The problem, when we were the biggest XG missers, under Eric, and we were going, I know. I do feel for Eric a little bit because we just can't put the ball in the back of the net. You should have probably added a 5-1 into a 5-1 West Ham win into this talk. So
and
maybe everything will be different.
And Crystal Palace
and
as well.
Crystal Palace a 4-0 or something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So the chances have been there, but the organisation hasn't. So it's very interesting to see where we are. Let's go. There's a few more super chats flying in now. Bai says Ten Hag invested 80 million Kev coins in Anthony. He did. He did it. He invested a lot of Kev coins. Yeah. Shout out all the crypto guys and people who work in different currencies. But have you got the case? Have you got the KCs?
Kev coins, they're even lower than that. So crypto in the sense of what the fuck is it?
It's very cryptic. I don't know what's going on with these coins. Great one's been a member for a month. Big up to you. Great one. Happy birthday, Fleck. People think Ahmad is good at wingback, but I think he would be 10 times better at 10. But for now, I'm happy he's at wingback. Interesting point. Because obviously we all want him. We said from the first game, like he needs to be close to the goal. He's exceptional. And then as the games have gone on consecutive, you're like, he's actually quite good at wingback, like for this now. But you're right. As time goes on, when you go and get real specialists, maybe as we kick things on a little bit, you could see Ahmad. If Ahmad has to go and play in the right 10, he's going to be like a duck to water, isn't he? He's going to be perfect. But he is right now. I agree with you. He's doing really well there. But maybe as we keep going along in our process with Ruben, he can move up a little bit. Joe Fleming says, I think we should only buy a striker if we sell Marcus Rashford. Thoughts on that, Owen?
I think we're going to sign a striker regardless. I think that it's funny actually talking about what the priorities are going to be for United this coming summer. You go striker, I think wing back, maybe in both sides.
Left wing back's number one.
Left wing back certainly. I think actually there's more and more talk about might need maybe an actual midfielder. You know what I mean? Might need a proper
like
number 8 that can do the job.
Or 8. Sorry, yeah.
Because you got.
What are we calling them in this system? Are we calling them 8s or 6s? By the way, the two that sit. Are they 8s or are they 6s? Surely, if you're halfway line and you've got 2 midfielders ahead of you, you've got to be a 6.
I think it depends on the game. I think it depends on the game and it depends on the opponent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And look, there's also an argument about we're shoehorning people into number 10s at the moment. Do we have to get people like specialists in that position as well? So there's there's a lot of work to do when it comes to the only thing that, and to be fair, we did kind of address this in the summer anyway, is that you would say largely our back 3 is pretty settled. We don't really need to. You can't, unless they would wanted to go back in for like a Brantford again, which I just don't think they need to at the moment. You know what I mean?
Piss off.
You know what I mean? I don't think they need to. So.
No, not necessarily, unless he was, like we say, half the price. But because he would fit. He had a disaster class the other day, which was poetic, just brilliant, right, perfect time. Just shows you the hype. Him running back to goal, head down, can't get there, parachute on his back, getting pressed by him. I can't sort his feet out. Theatre of dreams, mate. Theatre of dreams. Do you know what I mean? But he's a decent player. I'm not going to shit on him. He is, just because of the Everton fans were annoyed that we didn't spend our money on him and then tried to laugh at us for getting Euro, whatever. But we said it. We're not stupid. We said from the summer. He's not 70-80 million pounds. You can piss off with that. He's not. He's 40 million. Do you know what I mean? And I know you're entitled to charge what you want, but that's fine. We're entitled to turn it down. And how much better does he make that back free?
Well, that's what I mean. And there's another part of this that's been really, really interesting is that there's almost been like a classification of what people that were previously playing at fullback for United are in Ruben Amorim's system. So it's either 2 options. You can either be a fullback that can now play at wing back, or you're a fullback that's been classified as like a left or right centre back. So in the case of Luke Shaw, we're not classifying him as a wing back, we're classifying him as a left centre back. In the case of Dallo, we're going, you could be a right wing back. Okay. Mazraoui, we're going, you could probably do both. But actually, the more I see him, I go, I actually really like him at right centre back. I really like him. Yeah.
But don't forget, he can go anywhere and still do that.
He can play goal, striker, wherever he wants.
Yeah. If he was left wing back,
Malacia, we're going, he would be a left wing back if we were going to classify him into a position.
Yes.
You can't see him playing left centre back, can you?
No, definitely not.
To be left back. So it's interesting to see that you've already got there like 4 different fullbacks, and they're actually being sort of put into different positions, as opposed to it's just, oh, you're a fullback, now you're a wing back. It's like, no, it doesn't work like that.
It's true. We have to, and that's the thing. We're also still learning about about how Amorim wants to work, and a lot of people are right in saying that he does like wingers to be converted into fullbacks, etc. And he did say, I think in one of his first interviews, he was like, but I think it was with Gary Neville. He said, but that's hard to do. As soon as you get in, it's hard to make an attacker start defending, which is what's so impressive about Ahmad.
Yeah,
which is what's so impressive, because straight away he's gone, can you do this job for me, kid? Can you take this information on and adapt your game slightly to do this? And Ahmad's gone, absolutely, no problem. Which
sheer determination, basically. You know what I mean? Work rate.
Just work up, because Ahmad at the top end of the pitch. And when you simplify, this is why Ruben Amorim is right, where it's about the understanding of the game more so than the system. And I love when he keeps reiterating this, because when you're talking ball and you're talking about, about the game and positions and players and stuff, we overcomplicate things loads by talking about formations and transfers, and it's just very, very simple. About, we always say football IQ, this, that, and the other. That's the understanding of the game is the most important thing out of anything, because if once you have that, hence like Ahmad, if you're an intelligent footballer like Mazraoui, play people like that, if you are intelligent, you will understand what the manager's asking you to do and adapt that to in-game. The old ex-pros say it all the time. Like whether you're playing a back three, a back four, a back five, right mid, right wing, all these different stipulations of the same thing. It just means that at certain times you go a little bit earlier, at certain times you stay back a little bit, certain times you come inside a little bit, certain times you stay with the left back if he's bombed. It's just the understanding. Ability-wise, Ahmad's got it all. Basically, when we have the ball, he's operating in the space he would always have operated in as a right winger. He's in there. It's just that when we don't have the ball, it's knowing how to connect with that right centre back and who to take. If they've got a left back, or if they build up with a three, which one are you taking, etc., etc. Again, understanding. I don't think Ahmad hasn't got better in ability. Not at all. It's just uses understanding. He's already good.
And it's also backing in confidence. It's knowing that he's not necessarily going to be dropping out the side for 3 or 4 games for no particular reason. You know what I mean? Exactly. That's a big boost too.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. Also, what have we got? We have got, actually, first of all, 1,300 of you watching, and we're at 320 likes. So let's get 500. 500. 5 times WCW champion. We need to get 500 likes in here. That's what we need to do, because we're in counting at 1,300. So that's only going to go up. Let me scroll up a little bit, because they are flying in.
You got a million.
Joe Flemings. Yeah. Yes. Patar says, Patar is just the latest member of the UV Members Club. Big up to you, Patar. Give him a big welcome. And Bonehurt says, another interview with Amorim released by BBC this morning. This is getting silly now. No wonder the guy mentioned about doing too much media. I spoke to one of the comms teams, and I said, I saw Ruben said about after Ipswich, because some of the media tried to pick up on it and said, he's at Man United. What did you expect? But when you find out how many he's actually done of the stuff we haven't seen, he had to do 8 interviews after the game, by the way, after that Ipswich game. So we only saw Sky and maybe.
Yeah, that's the thing over here. We don't usually we'll see Sky, and that's about it. But that's why after the game on social media, you see all of these quotes that you don't know, because it's literally like it's Sky, Premier League, MUTV, and then you've got international broadcasters.
Might have like beIN Sports, Optus,
beIN Sports.
You know what I mean? Whoever's in India,
Viaplay or something like that. You know what I mean? There's loads. And then Match of the Day, and it's all encompassing, isn't it? And then that's just on a match day, let alone, because you know how it works as well, Flex. When they have the press conference, whatever day that is, that's almost like a block of like maybe 2 or 3 hours where they do a press conference, then like pre-match interviews, sit-down interviews, with someone in the media center, with a Gary Neville or with a Melissa Reddy, or then with the international broadcasters, and it's just constant all the time.
And obviously he's making a statement or an observation to be like, bloody hell, just what I've noted. I've been here for sporting for 4 years, and I've done more media in 2 weeks, and that is the size of the club. It's not like he doesn't know that, but when you actually see, and also what someone's saying there, what Bonehurt's saying there, it's like, okay, there's another interview, but what is tending to happen now is at the beginning we needed to know about, so what's your style? How are you going to do this? And we know now. I think people should just be asking about tactics, how we see in the first 3 games.
Yeah.
A bit kick the conversation on a little bit more now. Not how are you as a person? How are you going to get the players to buy in? How are you? He speaks well and we can listen to him all day, but it is a little bit tedious now of the same sort of regurgitated, because he's the shiny new toy. you keep asking him, you know what I mean, the same things it was
going to
on day
get
one.
worse, by the way, because the access to players and coaches is just getting more, because even on a match day now, they're doing the halftime interviews, you know, interviews on the touchlines are coming in as well. Like all of that stuff's happening soon.
Yeah.
Like, you
It's
know,
only gonna get
that's
more.
only going to get worse, which again, as a fan,
Yeah,
like,
great.
I don't know about you. I remember when it was ITV had the coverage of the Champions League, Sir Alex used to always do the halftime interview. You know what I mean? He used to always do the halftime interview. And it would literally be 30 seconds. They'd be like, Sir Alex, what do you think of the first half? Yeah, I thought we did well. We could do better in the second half. Cheers. And then that was
go and do my team talk now. I don't want to be here.
Yeah, but it's going to be more of that. So it's only going to get worse.
Yeah, I don't want my, you know, manager or head coach at halftime when we're a goal down or it's tough or whatever, taking time out to speak to us. We can't fix this result. Go and speak to the players. Get in there.
Eric, fucking hell. We could be like
Jesus.
3-0 down at halftime. Eric, what do you think about it? It's not good there.
Yeah.
You'd be like, what do you say?
A load of rubbish. Yeah, exactly. Uncle says we forget Amorim prefers his wing backs to be attackers. Exactly that. And Patar says, good morning, lads, from Macedonia. Shout out from Macedonia. Can't wait for tomorrow. Let's smash this wannabe big club and leave no crumbs. Second half of the season. Eyes emoji. I'm not
believe Flex. I'm not having no negativity. Okay, no negativity this morning.
It's just
my words against
believe.
Yeah, come on.
Believe.
And before you get negative,
hold on. Wait a minute. Flex.
Yeah, not having it. Okay, that's just not. That's not. No
excuses.
Not having it. And I know you're going to say, well, but the record, our stats at the Emirates, yeah.
I don't give a fuck about his stats.
I'm in, Owen. You just galvanized me. Galvanized me. I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in. Oh, we got them again in the FA Cup. Why?
I know. We'll get.
Do you know what's funny about that? Yeah. Oh yeah. We'll get to that. This thing is doing it again. By the way, so stupid.
Well, watch you find
sort that out. Yeah, I've got it here.
Oh, you got it back.
Yeah, I got it back now. Right. D says, gents, what do we think about Omar? Am I saying this right? Mamouche? I call him Mamouche, but I'm not sure.
I think so.
I want to say that. Wishful thinking, but we need that type of player at Old Trafford. Him and Bruno in the inside 10s would be illegal. Again, it's another name, you know, sparkling name, good player, but we're going to get linked to loads, aren't we? I mean, that would be a bit of a dream. It would be a good setup, but I've got my coins in Mason Mount, mate. So I don't know about Omar Manouche, mate. You know what I mean? Got my Kev coins in.
Oh, we need. By the way, Josh, we need a Kev coin emoji.
We do.
We need Kev coins emoji.
Just a coin with his silly face in the middle.
Yeah, we need Kev coins. Yeah.
Patar says need Davis or Raum. Really like Raum. We're going to talk about David Raum in a little bit. So Ryan says that we cry about ticket price hikes, demand 5 players every window. There are only 2 to 3 level players per window. Trying to buy success ruined us. And Bice Byron says, what's one thing Ahmad needs to work on?
Being
a bit more ruthless.
Yeah, it'll just be. I know he's been very consistent at the moment, but what it will be is if you want to go to the elite top level, then the numbers that you are putting out there, whether they're goals or assists, they just need to get higher and higher, don't they? You know, that's what the best players are judged on every single season. That's what takes you from potential into being like bona fide. Bloody hell, like every season they're putting numbers on the board, isn't it? So, and he can do that. He can do that.
It is shitly about that. And you're right. It's just being consistent in what you do. Just be that guy. You know, be that guy at all times. Yeah. That's what we need. Let's go back to that. And Bryce, he said that Shane Usher. Shane User says, hi guys, would you swap Ahmad for Yamal?
You always try to do. Look who they're trying to do. Do you want to talk about David Raum, Flex?
Yes, let's do that. Smash it up in the video, guys. We're at 408. We need to get to 500.
So Florian Plettenberg, we're an exclusive this morning, Flex, saying David Raum is another player Manchester United have on their radar and on the shortlist for the vacant left wing back position. Already last summer, There were concrete discussions, including about figures between Manchester United and Raum. As a left wing back, the 26-year-old is considered to be a very good fit for Ruben Amorim's new system. His development is being closely monitored. His agency, Roof, has excellent connections to the Premier League. His contract with RB Leipzig is valid until 2027, but he's currently injured. He's got an ankle problem. He's actually out for the rest of 2024. I don't know how long he's going to be back for. So an injured left back.
Yes, let's do it.
Where have we heard that one before? But I think what it does go to show, Flex, is once again, we're talking about, you said it earlier on, you think that's the priority position in the summer. Maybe even January, even as a loan, find someone first, and then the actual permanent successor might be in the summer. But they're looking. They're on the lookout.
Yeah, it's and Plettenberg's been very consistent with that, hasn't he? Like saying it, and Fabrizio Romano has been consistent. Number one priority, Man United will definitely sign left wing back priority position in the summer. When Romano does those type of absolute priority.
Look, he said that last summer, didn't he? He went, absolutely will sign a left back, and you're going about that left back. We're waiting. We're waiting. But I think it'll be one of those ones where, like they have a list of positions and they go, right, with the budget we've got, we're definitely getting this position, this position, this position. With the sales we hope to do, we would get this position and this position and this position. Yeah. And I think that the left wing backs in the column of, regardless of what happens, we are going to get a left wing back because we absolutely need it. And, even with, we kind of skipped over it, I suppose, with the Gyökeres stuff earlier on, but Florian Plettenberg did say, we're not signing them without selling anyone because we're close to the line. And, and
you'd think some of the sales, I mean, and that's not particularly a big problem in terms of sales. It can be if you don't sell them, but we've got players that could be for sale. Harry Maguire's coming to the end of his contract. Has he got an extension? He's got an extension, hasn't he?
Yeah, he won't go on a free. I don't.
No, so they'll probably give him an extension. Jadon Sancho money can come through. That's 25 mil. Yeah. Anthony, you've got to find a way to get him out the door. Yeah. Might be another 25, ironically. Who knows? Maybe. Something shit like that, but let's be real. Yeah. Ericsson's a free.
Yeah. They'll try Casemiro again. David Ornstein said that the other day. They did the classic. They're making connections in Saudi. They're making connections in Saudi to try and get that one that one done.
That could be again 20. You know what I mean? So
those ones are easier said than done, aren't they? You know what I mean? Like the Anthony one and the Casemiro one, because of their wages, they have no incentive to leave. Essentially,
no, none at all. And it depends how ruthless or how convincing and the ambition they got versus comfortable contract. It depends on all of those factors. How strong can the football hierarchy come across and be like, you're not playing. All right, fine, I'll sit on the bench. I get that. So maybe you might just do that or just be out the squad or whatever. Yeah. They've made it abundantly clear. I'm definitely not going to play. I know money's one thing, but I've not played football for 2 years now. Anthony could think. You know what I mean? All of last year, probably all of this year, 2 years inactive. If he believes in himself as much as he does, you're then trying to bank on the player, ironically bank on the player going, I'm not, Casemiro is like, he's got all the money in the world. Is he going to say, well, I've got 2 years, I'll just sit and not play?
I mean, I know that he doesn't play for Brazil anymore, but I suppose there is a possibility because, of course, at the end of next season, it is the World Cup. So you can sort of say, you need a big season if you want to go and play in the World Cup.
Especially Anthony.
And by the way, you ain't playing here. So I suppose even to like a Casemiro, where you can say, look, it's your last chance to go to World Cup. It's unlikely. It's unlikely. But if you had a great season somewhere, who's to say you couldn't go? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's when you pull on the heartstrings a little bit with that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Same like Harry Maguire. Same like Harry Maguire, wouldn't you? You go, look, mate,
World Cup coming up.
World Cup season. Thomas Tuchel. Does he fancy you or not? So you got to play this next season. So that's what you got to do. Leverage.
Get back in. Yeah. And Conscript says thoughts. Mazraoui centre midfield next to Ugarte. Yoro at right centre back. Well, I wouldn't put it past Mazraoui. Any type of position he needs to play, I'd say he can do it, and he'll play a 7. So I don't think he would do that, though.
This is quite interesting, Flex, in the last couple of minutes.
Developments.
Fabrizio Romano has said on his YouTube channel, he's talking about Ahmad and his new contract and And, you said before, it's inevitability, foregone conclusion. It'll be the simplest contract negotiations ever.
Oh, for God's sake.
No. He's saying, Richard Romano, he said, Ahmad's relationship with Erik ten Hag and his staff delayed his new contract at Manchester United. However, Ruben Amorim absolutely loves and trusts him, and Ahmad is keen to stay. Talks are progressing well. If sources confident a deal could be finalized soon.
Well, I mean, that would be music to people's ears, but also no surprise. No surprise, because we all have said the way that Ahmad was treated, or the lack of game time he was given under Erik ten Hag, for no legitimate reason. There wasn't like a hierarchy or a merit of like, well, Anthony's just been unbelievable. Ahmad, you can't really say anything. Or, Sancho's been doing this, and, the training bollocks, all that. Do you know what I mean? And anytime Ahmad played, he did well. Never, ever got a chance. Like people always say, player of the month in August,
August to September. And
then disappeared. Never get, So I don't blame him in his camp for saying, well, we need to think about, are we going to sign here? Because if Man United are going to continue with Erik ten Hag, and he holds this view of you, and is playing people like Mazraoui in the 10 ahead of you, who Mazraoui, fantastic by the way, but think of Ahmad now. Like if there was a 10 position available, because people would go straight in. We'd try and force a defender in there. So he was treated badly by Erik ten Hag, and it was a crime against football, really, why he wasn't played more.
Yeah, go back to it. The one against Fulham last season, where it was all of the right-sided players were out, essentially, a lot of injuries, and it was Amari Forson starting for Ahmad.
Mental.
Purely for the sake, I think, of getting like Amari Forson didn't have a contract at the time, or was coming up, and it was like, oh, well, let's get him in. But I mean, no disrespect to him, but it's like the difference in talent.
And he came on, he got hooked at halftime, didn't he?
Yeah, because he wasn't.
And Ahmad didn't even come on. No, if I remember correctly.
You know what I mean? And even towards the end of Eric's tenure, like there'll be points where, who was it against? It was against Fenerbahce, when he brought Anthony on instead, and Anthony got injured, and then Ahmad came on for like 5 minutes and showed more than 5 minutes. Then they had the whole game down that side, and people were like, "What? This doesn't make sense." And I'll hold my hands up, because there was a point last year when people were doing the whole, Ahmad crying for Ahmad, and I was like, well, guys, let's not get carried away, because we have done this before with players. You know what I mean? The Donny van de Beek, free Donny. We do free everyone, don't we?
Yeah.
And
this one was real.
It was real. It was real. It was real. And the problem is, it works both ways, isn't it? Because we'll say, well, we don't see training, so we can't judge that. But we don't see training, and there's no way that he was being shit in training.
No,
it's
impossible. It's impossible, and there's no way he's not ready to play at this level. Like you can't. That argument doesn't wash. Like, we don't need UEFA A licenses to see that this kid is the best right winger that we have. Like, and
he was really good in pre-season this past season.
Exactly.
Last couple of seasons, pre-season been good. Obviously, it was unfortunate with the injury last year, but this year pre-season, we're like, he's great, and he started the first couple of games, and he just disappeared again.
And also, let's be honest, we could tell Eric was itching. So Ahmad, this is why you got to rate what Ahmad does done. Eric didn't fancy him, clearly, because he played Anthony all the time, and Garnacho on the right all the time, whatever, right? Didn't fancy him. So we always say, you can say what you want about a player in the pressers. When you pick your team week in, week out, you will tell us as a coach what you think about your squad, right?
Yeah.
No problem. So he made his bed, so he liked to lie in it. But what Ahmad still did was, there was still glimpses where he's kicking the door down, where we're all, as fans, we're going, hold on, wait a minute. Ahmad.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
No, wait a minute. Wait.
Ahmad. You know what I mean? Because we can see it. And he's still, even in the preseason, obviously all the players were back late from the Copa America and Euros respectively. Ahmad had the great preseason where we said in the preseason, didn't we? I remember all of the videos was like, well, this is Ahmad's time. Garnacho's not back
said
yet.
It. Even Eric, remember, said
and he said, this is time.
It has to be.
Has to be now. And he couldn't wait. And then as soon as he started all right, like, remember, it was a Community Shield against City, got the start. Weren't great in the first half. Second half came alive a little bit. But then Garnacho comes on and scores. And then Eric just couldn't wait. It felt like he just couldn't wait to go, I tried that Ahmad thing. I was right. Because he trying to push the Garnacho thing. And listen, Garnacho is a good talent. No, not anything against Garnacho. He's done really well for his stint. But Ahmad is a beautifully gifted footballer, and he's better than him. he is better than Garnacho. Like the decision making, the maturity, the understanding of the game. He is levels above Garnacho for the right hand side. I know we play a different system now, but we're seeing it. So Ahmad deserves all the credit because not once is there stories of his agent saying this or him being unhappy. We were even on tour with him being treated the way he's been treated. We're seeing, and his kids saying, "Oh, I want to stay here forever. Like I just love this club. I want to stay here."
Presser, didn't he?
UCLA presser, mate. Yeah. UCLA presser. So I'm just so happy for him. He deserves that. And so I was a bit scared there when you was like, "Oh, there's developing news," and you said it would be a 4-goal conclusion. I was like, "Oh, here we go." But that makes sense. I'm not surprised to hear that.
Yeah.
And Ruben Amorim, by the way, the way I listened to his presser, and there was a couple of, I don't know if it was the BBC one. Again, there's so many, I can't remember which one. The way he's talking about some of our players, bro, and the way he breaks down what's going on is so refreshing. I just feel like am I really hearing this? When he said about Mazraoui, I think he said, we need more players like him.
Yeah, and he said that,
great.
And he said it as well so I think he's already been asked about his communication style in these press conferences, and I think he might have been after the game at the weekend, and he was just like, I just want to be honest with the fans. To be honest, I'm just going to be honest. Like when he was talking about the results and the performances, like you said about not getting carried away, he said, "I'm not saying it just to play things down. I just want to be honest with the fans, so they've got the most appropriate expectations." Essentially, that's when it gets back into the results versus performances thing of going, great result, but performance is not there. So I want to make sure everyone's aware for when we do get a negative result that we can judge the performance of it, which again, I think is laying the foundation for Wednesday, frankly, of being like, let's keep looking at the performances and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Because he knows
he's very honest.
He knows
and he's handled the media really well a couple of times, because when he speaks about specific players like that, and sometimes in a bit of a negative light, you can tell they're like, right, let's pounce on him, because we're very to tied him up. Because again, just from a language point of view, they tied him up. And he just completely washed that the other day when he said, the only reason I say specific players is just to explain to you. Basically going, I'm explaining to you what I'm trying to say. I'm not doing it to have a go at the players. I'm explaining it to you because you've asked me the question. You asked me. So I'll give you an answer, and I'll give the fans an answer. And then you go, well, then that washes up. He's not being negative. He's just telling the truth.
And then what he does is he's got no problem explaining what player X needs to improve on. I love that. And it's so refreshing to see that us as fans, we're obviously they're the people who are way more qualified than us. We're emotional, this, that, and the other. But when things are quite calm and you take out all the hysteria and, he wears Montclair and all of that, right? When you're just talking about the game and the performances and what we're seeing, it matches up. It's matching up with what he said. He's saying like, well, I'm telling you now, this was 4-0, but there was a lot there that wasn't good still. Like we've got a long way to go and this, that, and the other. So it's just really, really, really refreshing, and I'm enjoying it. And when we lose games, I can tell he's not going to be the guy to lose his head and say stupid shit. He'll talk about the reasons why we lost, what we need to improve on.
He'll say, particularly with players, he'll say what they did wrong in the game. A million percent. And just very quickly, Flex, we're playing Arsenal Wednesday, and we're also going to be playing them in January as well at the Emirates in the FA Cup third round.
This is your fault, by the way. This is your fault. Yesterday, guys. No, I'll tell you why this is Owen's fault. Yeah, I said to Owen, I was like, oh yeah, because FA Cup draw live, And I said, be when the full-time view, when the red carpet's on. I'm not on it today, but I said maybe make a thing of it and that. And Owen said, yeah, well, I'll probably just get Sheffield Wednesday, mate. So who cares? Like we'll just talk about it like that.
You've missed a crucial part of the story. You missed a crucial part of the story because you weren't on red carpet when we got in the room 5 minutes before. KG, myself, and Saeed were all talking about that, and we were going.
You didn't say you want Arsenal.
No. Oh. But basically what happened was we were sort of going, I tell you what though, back in the day, I remember playing like Liverpool, like third round. I remember playing like, sometimes we said there's always one big game between two big Premier League sides in the third round. I was like, I remember playing Liverpool a couple of times earlier. So I was like, yeah. And then Cage was like, I'm smelling some fuckery gonna go on, all that kind of stuff. And it did. It
away
did.
As well.
And then you look at the other side. Man City, like it felt like very geographically biased because Man City going to Salford, Liverpool going to Accrington
Salford are going to Man City.
Oh yeah, excuse me. But Liverpool playing Accrington Stanley as well, you know, and you're like, and we're playing Arsenal at the Emirates again.
In the same month, we've got to go Liverpool away.
Yeah.
Like it's so we got.
But if we won, Flex, if we won twice, not once, the year that you said in the Flex said to me the other day, he was going, it's just shit. He's like, ever since I've been doing this, basically, he's like, I've been going to the Emirates once and some United win. Like, I think that's maybe the last.
I was just after
the last time we beat them.
Oh no,
really?
Was I at United stand then? I think I might have.
But that's the last time, and in an FA Cup match, like. But basically, we haven't won there since then. If we did it twice in the space of a few weeks.
I just can't see it, man. I really want to.
Flex. I mean, you're being realistic, and you're probably right too. But
it's like we got to go Emirates twice in this period. Away to Anfield, away to the Etihad, away to Spurs.
Get them all out the way, though. Get them all out the way. Flex,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's true. Because then by the end of January, you're going right. We've got a bit of a decent run now.
Yeah. Although they still have to come to Old Trafford. They've all still got to come to Old Trafford.
Yeah. Man City, Arsenal. We got to go Chelsea.
Yeah.
We got to do Newcastle home and away. Villa got to come to us, which ain't that difficult now. But I just annoying. It's just annoying. I can't. Do you know what it is? I want to be. I want to do the like. Yeah, man. Yeah, Like I want to just. But it's too fake. You guys know me too well.
Tomorrow, after tomorrow, that will change the perception of January a lot, won't it? Because depending on what happens, whatever result, like if we were to lose, we'd be like January. But I suppose it depends how we lose. If we did, we'd be like, oh, you never know, you never. If we drew, we'd be like, tell you what. Because there's no replays in the FA Cup this year as well. Go straight to extra time pens. No replays. So you go, okay. And then if we were to win, we'd be like, bloody hell.
I know, but then if you lose, it's like, oh, we're trying to get some cups, out first one.
Like, the best thing is, this is because someone asked us yesterday. I think it was Adam on the red carpet. He said, if you could only win one, which one would you rather win? And the general sentiment was the one in the Premier League. And do you know why? Because if Arsenal knock us out the FA Cup, they ain't fucking winning it anyway. Yeah,
no.
they'll still find a way to screw it up. It's fine. It's fine.
Well, and just the Premier League, just you know what it is, going to the big away ground.
We haven't had that. We need that.
Points. We really do need it. And look, listen, the fascination with cups. I said this before Eric got sacked, and it just proves why. We've got a couple in the last couple of years. If we don't win a cup, I know that's not the standard. So you're saying the new standard for Man United is it's okay to not win trophies? Use for standards on. I'm not saying that, but in this transition where we are now, it's way more important to work on what we're doing that will carry us through to make us a better team than to pick up another Carabao Cup or pick up another FA Cup. Great days out of Wembley. I was there at both. Unbelievable. I will remember that for ages. We've just been spoiled. Not spoiled, the standards. 2-2. No problem. Great days out, especially that redemption against Man City. Unbelievable. Everyone couldn't believe it. I was so happy. So happy that I was like, make Eric stay. You saw, I was gassed. I was, I was gone. But I've learned from that. And what's more important now is to build in the league, become a better team, and not get caught with big moments. You can get up for one-off games where it's knockout. Liverpool, 4-3 or 3-2, whatever game that was. And it was crazy. Yeah. Those games can happen. Even the Coventry game. Oh, the heart's in your mouth. That's cup football. It's cup football. Bread and butter is the league.
That's why when we do play Arsenal in the third round, like anything can happen, because you do see that sometimes teams that are flying in the league, they'll play in the cup and they'll just be shit. You'll be like, what happened there? They'll be like, and
also can make a few changes in the league in the FA Cup as well. Squads get changed a little bit more. So yes, okay, all right. Let's finish up. Joe, Dio, I read that one. Bias treatment made it easy to get over. Oh no, hold on. Jag says, "Happy Born Day, Flex. It's always so wicked seeing you in the official presses. You literally do us all proud. Thank you, man. Really appreciate that. Big up to you and Owen. Glory, glory, Man United. Yeah, thank you. Really appreciate that. I always try to do that. Bias says, and I wouldn't be there. We wouldn't be there if it weren't for you guys.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean, it's as simple as that. Bias says, we love Ten Hag, but the Ahmad treatment has made it easy for most of us to get over him. Yeah, it's one thing for sure. And Dio says, bit behind for me. Eric Ten Hag's mistake was asking to have too much control over signings. Yeah, True. Meant he had to make a new system as he couldn't blame anyone else. Yeah, there was nowhere to hide. And Joe Fleming says, KG said free Ahmad was the same as free Palestri. Oh, at the time. Is that what he was saying?
KG says a lot of things.
Yeah, he says a lot of stuff. He says a lot of stuff. Well done, guys. We got over 500 likes anyway. Big up to each and every single one of you. Really good content coming your way today. You've got the fan clash between Turkish and KG, that comedian. Look out for that. That's been recorded in about an hour. Carnage, bets galore. KG getting sucked into saying stuff he might not want to say because he just hates Arsenal. And, you know, if you like that sort of thing where you're like, oh, KG, tell them Arsenal, man. Yeah, do that. Then you're in. If you're like, oh, why have you said this? Then be prepared. Be prepared. So that's coming. And later on, Flexing KG show live. But we've got guests. We will be with the man like Cecil. Yeah, shout out Cecil live. And Bavs will be joining me and Flexing KG, me and KG for the Flexing KG show at 7 p.m. live as well. So loads of content coming.
Is the preview already out?
Preview's already out. Been in the sidebar. Preview's already out. I was down at the Emirates, as Josh says, yesterday with Don Robbie filming that preview. There you go. There you go. It's right there. Over there. Yes, there's me and Don Roberts at the Emirates. Check that out as well. Guys, smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Plenty of content coming for you, head tops. We're out of here. Peace.